Crosby, Fails, Mix 96, Katy Perry last Friday night, and Michael Jackson, Billie Jean kicking things off before that. Good evening, I'm Neil Quigley. Welcome to Monday's show. Hope your weekend was good and your week has started well. Next, how I was inspired by one of those TV award ceremonies to do something a bit different this weekend, more after Nickelback and how you remind me of Mix 96. I thought I was pretty clever over the weekend. I couldn't make my friend's son's first birthday party on Saturday afternoon, so inspired by TV and film awards where they record a video if they can't be there in person, I used modern technology to do just that. I recorded a very short birthday video message on my phone and sent it to the mother. It seemed to work quite nicely. They were pleased with it and thought it was a nice gesture, so that is now my new plan for anything that I can't attend. I'll just send a simple video message from my phone, so at least I have, a slight presence at these places, meaning there really is no escape from me now. Even if I can't actually physically be there, I can still be there in video. Did you see Strictly Come Dancing over the weekend? Got a bit feisty on Saturday, didn't it? With dancer James Jordan having a bit of an ongoing row with the judges. Dancers are clearly getting a bit tougher. He was kind of like a cross between Billy Elliot and Billy Elliot's dad from the film, I thought. Quite scary in patches, to be honest. I'm sure they've all, shook hands and made up now. I do like Harry and Aliona. They're my favourites, mainly because she is my favourite one of the professional dancers. I don't know why, I just sort of taken to her most. And fair play to the band they have and the singers. They are amazing. The different range of songs they have to play and sing is brilliant, and they do it perfectly. Rory Bremner and Erin went last night. They were in the bottom two, along with Anton and Nancy, but they survived for another week, much to everyone's surprise, including Anton's, to be fair. His face is a picture when he finds he has to dance another week with Nancy. Mix 96. I sat through the whole of the X Factor on Saturday night. Did you see it? And I'm not sure I saw anyone I actually thought could win it and be successful just yet. And I'm not saying the advert breaks are long, but I managed to do the whole of my washing up for the entire evening during just one of those. The Apprentice with Alan Sugar back on TV tonight, with the teams given the challenge of running a laundrette. I wonder if Nick Kamen will make an appearance tonight. Mix 96, Katy Perry with Firework. Now, I'm a hugely optimistic person, but I really don't think this town have got much of a chance. A Manchester suburb is hoping to be twinned with Paris after launching its own version of the French capital's most famous landmark. Harbour Hay, once named the most deprived neighbourhood in Britain, has renamed a 100-year-old chimney as the, and wait for it, the Eiffel Tower. The mayor of Paris has even been invited to the official opening of the Eiffel Tower. And surely you just can't build a bad replica of an iconic building and then try and twin yourself with that town. Mix 96, Snow Patrol Chasing Cars and Genesis Invisible Touch before that. I'm Neil Quigley. This is what makes social networking great for me. A friend of mine put on Facebook last night that she was sitting at the next table to TV dragon Peter Jones while she was having dinner in a pub in Windsor. From her putting that on her Facebook page, people added details about where he went to school, people that know each other and have links to him, and even what type of dog he has and where he got it from as well. It's a Great Dane, apparently, if you're interested. I love that. If you're nosy like me, it's brilliant. Just from that one little comment on Facebook, we get like a profile of this bloke who was minding his own business and just having a quiet drink with a few mates. Now, I was lucky and privileged enough to be given a private showing at the cinema of the new Jersey Boys film yesterday. I'm a massive fan of West End musicals, but I'd never seen the Jersey Boys, one of the few I've not seen, so I was really keen to see the film. It was brilliant, I thought. The music of the Four Seasons is fantastic, and I was surprised with the backstory of the band, all the individual members, what they went through, and it really does tell the story of showbiz, the highs, the lows, and highlights some of the problems that Frankie Valli went through in his life, which I had no idea about. One thing I did like about the film was the fact that Frankie Valli actually plays his own dad in the film. I like that. It was a nice touch. Directed by Clint Eastwood as well, and not the normal sort of Clint Eastwood film, although it is quite gritty. It is quite dirty in places in some of the subject matter, but ultimately it's a feel-good and successful happy ending story. Well worth a look if you get a chance, and if you love the music of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, do go and see Jersey Boys. It's a great piece of cinema, great film. I've left that, and that's Nickelback and Rockstar. Very pleased to welcome my special guest into the studio this morning. Good morning, John Nettles.
Good morning to you.
How the devil are we?
Exceedingly well, and all for the better being here.
That's good to hear. Now, you're currently filming, quite literally currently filming, a brand new television series, which will come come on to. We'll talk about that later this hour, but I want to talk about you firstly this hour, if that's okay. I didn't realise this. You're a West Country boy.
I come from St Austell in Cornwall, the attractive part of Cornwall, of course.
That's been great growing up around there.
It was wonderful. In fact, I had, idyllic childhood. I spent the rest of my life trying to get back there. I was so happy, you know.
You went to Southampton University, actually studying history and philosophy.
Yes, I did. Yes. They gave me a doctorate the other day.
Oh, congratulations.
I'd done even less work for that than I did for the original degree, as far as I understand it.
Please welcome a member of an American band who the English have taken to their hearts with 2 million plus selling albums and 3 Brit Awards under their belts. They're back with their first material for 3 years. Has it really been that long? From the Scissor Sisters, it's Ana Matronic. Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
I'm very well and very happy to be back in England.
Now, firstly, if news in the press is to be believed, can I congratulate you on a big thing that's recently happened in your personal life?
You may.
Congratulations on your recent marriage in that case.
Thank you. I am now no longer Ms. Matronic. I am Mrs. Curbtronic. We're going to put our names together instead of me taking one or the other.
Like all great stories, it wasn't instant success. It took a lot of hard work. But what was the moment you really felt the Scissor Sisters actually arrived as a band?
That would be 2004 Glastonbury, when our album first went #1. We had an amazing show at Glastonbury, and it really, we had never played to a crowd that size before, and having that effect and seeing just all those thousands and thousands of people just go mental as they did, it was so overwhelming. And then to go away, have a great weekend. We had an amazing weekend that weekend. We spent all weekend at the festival, and then when the midweek charts came out the next week, we were #1, and they said, "Oh, your record's going to go #1," and I just thought it was so crazy because it had been out for 6 months. And then it really was that performance and the broadcast of it on TV that really shot us up into the stratosphere.
My guest tonight then is a comedian, a writer, a TV presenter, and a man who could probably tell you where to get some decent home and car insurance. Jason Manford, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Not too bad at all.
You're coming to Yeovil later this month as part of your stand-up show. We'll come on to that in just a second because there's lots to talk about with your career, but I want to start sort of right at the beginning and how you actually got into comedy and ended up doing your first gig, because that's, if this is true, it's quite, almost a romantic story in many ways. Could you explain for us?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it is true. I used to work in a pub and it also had a comedy night running, and I sort of used to watch every week. I was only 17. Used to watch every week, and then one night, it happened a couple of times, but particularly this night, about sort of 3 or 4 of the acts hadn't turned up. They were coming up from London and had not made it, and the promoter was panicking a bit, and I sort of thought, I might have a go at it. And that was it. I had a go, got up on stage, and it sort of went well, and that was, 10 years ago, so it was from there, really.
Welcome, my guest onto the show this morning, singer, presenter, Mylene Class. Couple of questions. Obviously, you were on The Jungle. Why did you get rid of that white bikini?
Because it was eBayed for $7,500 for the Fair Pack charity. I figured that they could probably do with the money more than I could do with the bikini.
You've done so much in your career as well. Just out of this quickly, pick Clooney, De Niro, Depp. Which one was your favourite?
Oh, Johnny Depp. Ask any woman. Come on.
Fair enough. Okay, question 3. Hearsay reunion. Any chance of that, do you think?
We did have a giggle about this. We'd have to sing Pure and Simple on loop.
Yeovil's very own actress, Sarah Parish. Morning, Sarah.
Hi, Blue Eyes. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Just looking through your bio, and I obviously know a lot about you. I know all the most of the shows you're in. The one thing I didn't know, though, that you were one of the Boddington girls.
I was one of the original Boddington's adverts. You remember the first one it looked like it was face cream.
Yes.
The second one looked like a Cornetto advert, and the third one looked like a suntan lotion advert. And that was me. The catchline was, give us another rub down without chip fat.
Who could forget that? One quick question on that. Do you actually like beer? Do you drink beer?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
You can. No, you can, because Peter Kay advertised John Smith for years. He doesn't drink. He's teetotal. So if you don't, you can say that.
Well, I do. I like a good drink like the rest of us. But Boddington's, I used to like Boddington's, but they got me to drink. I drank about 84 pints of Boddington's while I was recording that advert. It was in Miami.
What a job.
It was. I know, you'd have loved it, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I was on a beach. It was absolutely boiling hot. And the client insisted that I drink the real thing. They always do, because it has to look absolutely perfect. And we did. We must have done about 60 takes. I was absolutely plastered by the end of the filming.
Were you purposely making mistakes by the end, thinking,
yeah,
let's get some more beer in? Rodney Buse. Good morning, Rodney.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you this morning?
I'm very good, thanks.
Let's start off by talking about your career. Now, you've been acting for... How many years have you been in the acting game now?
I think it's like 50. It might be 55, but who's counting? I ought to know something about it by now. I would have got it right in like 6-7 months. And you learn something every night. You know, that's the wonderful thing about it. You can never know everything about anything.
It's Idle FM live at Wembley for this big game for Yeovil Town. 90 minutes away from the chance of Championship football. Not long ago, they were a non-league side playing in the league conference. When Terry Skiverton joined the club, that's what they were. Now they're on the verge of Championship football. The key thing, as you said, is you really want to be attacking your own fans in the second half, don't you, really? And the thing with playing at Wembley, the neutral crowd, is unfortunately not many teams get there that often to actually have a favourite way of kicking at Wembley. So... I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. They're just sort of doing the toss. Now Nathan Jones, captain for the day, of course. Club captain Terry Skiverton is on the bench. Just a quick word on the Yeovil Town lineup. It looks like we have called it right, because sometimes Russell Slade does go 4-3-3. It is 4-4-2 with Lee Morris and Marcus Stewart up front and Aaron Davis and Wayne Gray on the flanks in midfield. Brilliant work by Wayne Gray. There should have been one of the forwards in there gambling on that one. They just didn't get in there. There was a great cross from Wayne Gray, and you'd like to see one of your forwards flying in at that point to try to attack it. Well, he's already swapped Aaron Davis and Wayne Gray, swapped over and swapped him back, although that may have been just a result of the fact that Aaron Davis was this side of the pitch taking a corner, but he's always got options, to be fair. Lee Morris can, with his pace, could be moved to the wing, stick Wayne Gray up front. If he wanted to go 3-3, he could push Aaron Davis up and play the free. So he's got plenty of options, as always, Russell Slade. Idle FM, live at Wembley, of course, for the coverage of Yeovil Town against Blackpool in the League One playoff final. Currently 0-0 the score. Very true. The thing is, they're both more attack-minded players, unfortunately, which is the way Russell Slade's system is set up. But he got a bit of criticism, Grimsby, for being a bit of many people had him marked down as a long ball merchant, but Yeovil definitely play football and attack the right way. Yeovil trying to put a bit more pressure on at the moment and trying to sort of pen Blackpool back inside their own half, which is what they need to do. They need to build up a head of steam, some momentum, and try and really put some pressure on this Blackpool back four. It looked very solid, unfortunately, so far this afternoon. It's going to be a long trip back down the M40, M25, M3, A303 back into Yeovil tonight. It could have been seen to great celebration, just wasn't to be. It just never happened to Yeovil today. It just never went their way. The spark was never quite there, never reached the levels anywhere near the performance that they managed in that amazing checkered two-legged comeback against Nottingham Forest that got them to this stage, that gave them a chance of Championship football next season. I'm sure this has whetted the appetite of a lot of the players. Also, as well, great following from Yeovil, around 30,000 Clovers fans making the trip up to Wembley today.
I'm here at the start with Olympic gold medalist Victoria Pendleton. Victoria, hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. So, straight to the point, how did you get involved with cycletta?
Well, I just thought it was a really nice idea to get women cycling and really enjoying cycling events. I think sometimes women can be a bit off-put by a competitive element of mixed events, because men take it a bit more seriously usually. So I think it's a great opportunity, and with all the supporters, Grazia and all that, kind of made it a little bit more accessible to a different range of people.
Yeah, and it's an excellent turnout, and the atmosphere is great. Everyone's really sort of, camaraderie is the word. Everybody's in it together, and it looked like they're having a good time so far.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, women are really great at sort of banding together and getting involved with sports events when they have the opportunity, like the runs for cancer research and that sort of thing. So I think it's one of those things that works for women. Get your girls out and go together.
Absolutely. How is training and things going for next year, of course, London 2012?
Training's going really well at the moment, thanks. I'm doing a lot of strength training at the moment and foundation work, and I can't be happier really with where I am. It's going really well, so I'm looking forward to the next season and the preparation for the Olympics.
Well, all the best for next year. We wish you well and hope you can obviously get a gold in the home country. Will be absolutely fantastic. I've got to let you go because you're riding today as well.
I've got to get on my bike now, so thank you very much.
The actress June Brown was 90 years old this week, famous for playing Dot Cotton in EastEnders. She was a guest on Desert Island Disc, playing some great tunes from her past. I was lucky enough to want to meet her. It was at T4 on the beach down at Weston-super-Mare. I had a backstage pass and I was enjoying the show, and I was working for a radio station down there, so just getting some interviews, and I bumped into June, and she was more than happy to chat. So I'm not saying she'd been taking advantage of the complimentary drinks that were on offer, but the conversation we had, we talked about the weather because it was a lovely scorching hot day, and she told me that she had a friend who lived down in Somerset near Weston-super-Mare, and she spent a lot of time down there with her, which is all great. I thought, that's fine. She goes, yeah, we like to go into the garden. She's got very high walls around her garden, so we like to sunbathe naked there. Yeah, Dot Cotton admitting that to me. June Brown was fantastic fun when I met her, and wish her a very happy 90th birthday this week, although I've never been able to watch EastEnders in the same light since.